All right, welcome everyone. My name is Matthew Brenner with W Your Dojo, and I am here with Mr. Kevin Bautista. Say hi.
Hello, everyone.
So you're going to see today how Mr. Batista has increased his monthly revenue between 4 and 5K each month, and hopefully even we'll do better by the end of 2023. So excited about that. Batista, Mr. Kevin Bautista over here runs Batista's martial arts. So give us a little bit more about your background. Tell us about you.
Yeah, so I started martial arts when I was 21, and I've been running a business since 2017. Fourth degree black belt with the ATA, and I love what I do, and I love growing, getting better, and I appreciate Matt for all that he's done to help me and that point me in the right direction. Really enjoyed working with him, and I'm looking forward to the future and other things that we implement that he's helped us with.
Well, I appreciate that. So tell us a little bit more specifically, like what was the problem or challenge you had when you first joined the program?
So when I started meeting with Matt, we the biggest thing that we was challenged with, or it was having a process and having protocols in place. Um, and that was in multiple areas, admin, memberships, tuition, stuff like that. Um, even with retention, um, the way things are ran on the mat, instructor training, that was a big thing that we had. Um, those were, just a handful of things that we were struggling with.
So why did you choose to join, my program specifically over, anything else that you might have seen?
Um, to be honest with you, I followed your brother, and I was following him a lot, kept up with him and him on Facebook, his posts. And then when I met with you and just heard what you had to say and all the facts and stuff that came along with it, I just felt confident that you guys knew what you were doing.
Okay. All right, cool. And then was there anything in particular about our program that you feel like really helped you? Like what do you think we did specifically that was like so effective?
Um, I would say this might sound crazy, but I would say the confidence in changing some of the things that we were doing.
Mm,
Just having that reassurance, like I would say that's what it would be.
mm. Yeah, I know that when one of the first things we looked at whenever I have someone come on board is like their pricing model. And that was one of the first things we changed, which is also the thing that most people are most resistant to change, right? And of course, it has to match like your demographic and your area and all that stuff. But I know like you're really nervous about it, and I'm like, I'm telling you, just change it, like or adjust it. And if a month or two from now it's not working, we'll change it back. And then you change it, and then you like message me like hey, like I think it was like two or three people came in that day, or maybe the next day or whatever. And you're like, hey, they all enrolled. I'm like, was there any challenges? No. And I'm like, oh, so you're just making more money now? And you're like, yeah. And it was like the simplest, easy change was just like editing a document, right? And just changing the model where you're not necessarily increasing your prices through the roof, but you're just changing the model of how you price things, so that way you could be more profitable, which means you can hire more employees, have better equipment, better overall experience. So, and what about in terms? The other thing that we talked about a lot is in terms of like schools and daycares and stuff like that, making sure that you're not relying on Facebook ads. Like those are great when they're working, but don't always work, or the website. But having an organic growth strategy that's like grassroots through your community. So tell us like what you've done with that, and why you think that's been helpful.
Yeah, so um, I've enjoyed doing both the daycares and the schools. I've done Facebook ads, I've done Google ads, YouTube ads. I've done all kinds of ads over the years, and all of them are really good, but that only lasts for so long. And then I just felt like I was just wasting money. So being able to have an organic system in place to earn to get those organic leads, Like that was golden for us because now, especially the daycare, for example, when we did that daycare, I was done with daycares because they just keep coming in now. That was like a one-time thing. Maybe who knows? Maybe we won't have to do that again. But
You will in a couple of years, but
yeah,
I think by now you should do it every year. But yeah, keep going.
yeah. So um our 4 to 6 year old classes, they grew tremendously after doing that daycare program. So I know I can leave that alone for now, and it's just going to keep growing. And I don't even remember spending anything other than just a little bit of my time to get that completed. And then going into the schools, we've been doing the schools, I think, since January or a little bit after January. And I've spent no money on ads and Facebook. We've had a ton of students come in from the schools. The schools love us. They're ready already, asking about next year, coming in next year to do it. So I really don't. There is no comparison when Facebook ads or social media ads and getting organic leads. There is no comparison with that. And not only that, but they're way better quality.
Hmm.
You know,
What do you mean by that?
so well, I think, well, what I've seen is, getting Facebook leads, they see something on Facebook and they act off of emotions versus someone that's already had an experience with us and they know the facts and they jump in and they already know what they want. And so they're willing to invest into it a little more. They're more willing to invest in it, and they're also um they know what we do already, so they're going to be more for supporting us and what we do.
Yeah, very cool. And of course, like anyone who fills out a Facebook ad or anyone who's ever called Facebook leads, they know, a good portion don't answer the phone, right? Or they're a bad number, or there's someone from another country, right? And
Yep.
but this is like you can control the faucet. Like, hey, I want to turn the faucet of like I'm going to do a school program or daycare, and it's all people in your area who are highly qualified who are going to show up. So instead of buying the leads, you earn the leads, but they're way higher quality, right? And I know even today when we were talking, you said, "Hey, a school actually called me to set up a program, and you didn't even reach out to this one. They reached out to you because they're starting to hear your reputation in the area from doing the other schools, which is exactly what we want." So that made me super happy. So, what about the school program or daycare programs that we run? Like, a lot of martial arts schools have talked about those in the past, right? It's not like I'm the first one ever to talk about school doing programs, schools, daycares. What about the way we do it? Do you feel like what specifically about the way we do it do you feel like is so effective?
I would say the biggest thing that made it so effective each time over and over is the process that's in place and the script that's followed, what's being taught, what's being said, the order that is being taught, the order that is being said, all the other things on the side that you do to make it to get more out of it. That's I think what's made it most effective.
Which process are you referring to? Which
Just
one? Is it like
for
testimonials or is it like
the well
how
for
we market it?
yeah, so definitely the testimonials from the teachers, um, posting all that stuff on social media, but the class itself, the curriculum that's being taught during the class itself has been very effective. That's just made it so much fun, so easy. It's not like, and then, all the reviews that we get back from the teachers and the principals, they loved what was being taught.
Hmm. So now that you know how to turn those faucets and bring in new members, instead of waiting for Facebook algorithm to just send you leads, right, and hoping that you're not burning money, now that you know how to go out and grab new members and bring them in the door, how's your life changed? Like, how do you feel differently?
Um, I'm not worried about getting new students anymore. That used to always be one of the things is like, man, I got to get some more students. I haven't even, to be honest with you, I haven't even looked at our student numbers because I know we're doing good. And that's I can sleep good at night knowing that, we our calendar's booking up and I'm not spending money overnight trying to get leads to come in.
Mm. And how
Um,
does that make you feel? Like when you don't have to think like, oh, I need new students. Like you don't have to stress over
yeah.
that nonstop.
Yeah. Oh, it feels great. It gives me a peace of mind,
Mm.
you know.
Cool. So where do you think you'd be right now if you didn't take action and join the program and learn how to do all this stuff?
I'd probably still be spending money on Facebook ads, trying to do other things, spending money on other stuff that may or may not work, you know. But this right here definitely feels solid about it.
Okay, cool. And thanks for sharing that. If there's anyone watching this that's on the fence about booking a call to speak to us and joining our program, like what would you say to them?
I would definitely tell them it's worth it, you know. I would say that you might feel a little nervous or you might be a little skeptical, especially it being new. But I mean, you never grow unless you get outside of your comfort zone, and definitely well worth it. I can almost guarantee they wouldn't regret it. But it's like you said, they'll have to put the work in.
Have to put the work in, right? I tell
Yeah,
people I'm not doing the work for you. I'll show you how to do it. I'll show you how to ride a bike.
yeah,
You got to pedal, right?
that's right.
So thank you so much for being on here, Mr. Bautista. I'm really excited to see how your school keeps on growing over the course of the year. Now we have schools calling you to set up programs, so that's just super awesome. Thanks for being here.
Yes, sir.